In real estate, you hear all the time, it's all about location, 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 and that's really true in a lot of cases. And in this video, we're gonna dive deep and get down to what are the top 10 best cities to live in the US right now. On my videos, we go through a lot of research and data to uncover the truth about living in different areas of our big, beautiful country. And a lot of that data is sometimes high level, looking at trends and information for wider areas like the states themselves, the region, like the Southwest, the Northeast, really 30,000 foot level data. But the truth is, all of those numbers are made up from a whole lot of individual cities and towns within that state. Sometimes those numbers can be deceiving. You can be in a state that has a big population center with wildly different stats that throws the numbers off from all the great local areas, the actual cities and towns in a state that may be wildly different from the state as a whole. So we decided to get more local and look at what are the top 10 best cities to live in, regardless of what the state numbers look like. And not surprising, there are some really great cities to live in that are actually located in states that you probably would pass on if you looked at just the state numbers. And to find those top 10, we did the research looking at things like the local cost of living, local job markets, local crime rates, local education system, and quality of life as well. And there are some surprises. So let's get moving. Number 10, Fayetteville, Arkansas. Fayetteville has been one of those hidden gems that has been quietly moving up the ranks as one of the best cities to live in for quite a while now, and it seems like the secret is getting out more and more. Although not as well known as some of the other cities on the list, it's not a tiny town. With a population of almost 550,000, it's filled with all the things you could want or need from an area. And one thing they have in spades is job opportunities, with a top-tier unemployment rate of just 2.39%. And while the average income isn't in the six figures, the cost of living here is fantastic, with residents spending a really low 20.44% of their median income on housing expenses, leaving a lot of leftover cash to do the things you want to do. Number 9. Colorado Springs, Colorado. The home of the United States Air Force Academy and a couple military bases, plus natural wonders galore, including the famous Pikes Peak and Garden of the Gods. You get a good mix of everything wonderful that Colorado has to offer, especially if you're into the outdoors. You're close to the Rocky Mountains, close to whitewater rafting, and of course, close to some great skiing. But you get all these benefits without having a lot of the issues and price tags of living in places like Aspen or even Denver. And these are just some of the reasons that Colorado Springs has held a chokehold on the top spot on SurveyMonkey's most desirable places to live for the past several years. But this is no podunk backwater little town. There are more than 750,000 residents who call Colorado Springs home, enjoying all the natural beauty at a steep discount compared to some of the other Colorado cities, a la Denver and especially Aspen, with their lower than expected cost of living. There's no secret why Colorado Springs has been one of the best for a while and looking like it will continue that status for years to come. Number 8. Charlotte, North Carolina. Charlotte is our largest city on the list, with a whopping 2.6 million people choosing to call this area home, and for good reasons. And no surprise, more and more people are making the move to Charlotte every year, as the population of the city has been growing through migration of people looking for greener pastures by 1% per year for the past several years. And yeah, 1% growth is a lot. Charlotte's economy continues to boom, driven in large part to the banking and financial services sector. In fact, Charlotte is second only to New York City as the largest banking and financial services center in the country. which means there are a lot of good paying white collar jobs here to go along with the 230 plus days of sunshine to enjoy a Carolina Panthers game, a Charlotte Hornets game, and of course, plenty of NASCAR. Number 7, Portland, Maine. If you're looking for an idyllic throwback to a bygone era with lighthouses, a real old school Main Street vibe, and a little slower paced life, then Portland, Maine may be calling your name. But don't mistake that slower pace of life with a ride on the short bus. The school system here is top notch, with the college readiness for high school students reaching the top tier in the country. On top of that, homes are still relatively affordable. The quality of life rankings are continuing to rise rapidly as access to healthcare, average commute time, and lower than average crime rates make this a rapid riser in our rankings. Number 6, Naples, Florida. While it may not be Tampa or Miami, Naples has become one of the hottest destinations for people moving to Florida. Located on the southern end of the Gulf Coast, just where the Everglades begin, Naples' population grew by almost 3% per year for the last couple of years. And that is an insane amount of people moving to the area. Being quite a bit more bougie than some of its neighboring cities like Fort Myers, Naples is kind of the Beverly Hills of the southern Florida area. And it shows, with a median home price of nearly $700,000. It isn't exactly the cost of living that is drawing the rich and famous to this hotspot. And if the Rolls Royces, Bentleys, Ferraris, BMWs, and Mercedes rolling down the road weren't a giveaway, the listings were. I think the lowest price one that I saw featured was just over 1.5 million, and there were at least a dozen in the 20 million plus and several over 50 million. The weird thing is that the average annual salary for the area is just about $50K, which means those people buying those $20 to $50 million mansions certainly are making their money from somewhere other than being a barista at the local Starbucks. Number 5, Sarasota, Florida. Also on the Gulf Coast of Florida, Sarasota continues to be a huge draw for people looking to relocate to the year-round sun and fun. And while Naples' growth rate looked insane, it's nothing compared to Sarasota, which grew at almost 4% per year and is definitely one of the top relocation destinations in the country. And who wouldn't want to move here? The beaches in Sarasota are consistently ranked as some of the top in the country. With its fine white sand, it's what you imagine when you think of a beach paradise, and gives you lots of opportunities to sunbathe, swim, boat, and even fish. But the fun doesn't stop at the beaches. There's wildlife galore and plenty of outdoor activities, including tons of golf, hiking, and camping. And one place you don't want to miss is Mayaca River State Park. And unlike Naples, you can still afford to live here with a median home price of just around the national average, around $400,000. Sarasota makes a great location if you're looking for the best of Florida. Number 4, Boulder, Colorado. With one of the highest average annual incomes of almost $74,000 per year and highest median home prices of almost $750K, Boulder is great, but definitely not cheap. Situated just about 30 miles from Denver and nestled at the foot of the Rocky Mountains, Boulder is an outdoor lover's paradise. There's hiking, biking, and climbing opportunities everywhere you look. And one good place to start, Chautauqua Park, where you can enjoy the Flatirons. Boulder is also home to the University of Colorado at Boulder that helps feed its ever-growing tech and startup community. Meaning, if you're in that segment of the industry, this could be your calling, and you too can enjoy the 300 plus days of sunshine and temperate climate that makes those outdoor activities always accessible. One thing of note is that Boulder is a really progressive area, where conservation and climate change take precedence over, everything. So if that's not your thing, then Boulder may be a great place to visit and enjoy, but may not be the best place to live. Number 3, Raleigh and Durham, North Carolina. These two cities that make up 2 points of North Carolina's Research Triangle get lumped together here, and for good reason. Raleigh and Durham are about 25 miles from each other, and there's lots to love both in the cities themselves and along the path between them. Being right there in the Research Triangle, there are lots of great career opportunities in tech, healthcare, and startups with plenty of room to grow both a family and your income. And all this opportunity comes at a pretty affordable price. The home prices are pretty in line with national averages. The cost of living is a heck of a lot cheaper than other tech hotspots like Silicon Valley or even our number 4, Boulder. And on top of that, the quality of life can't be beat, with tons to do both in the cities and lots of outdoor recreation available. It seems like these 2 cities would make a great choice for a move, with lots of upward mobility still available. Number 2, Huntsville, Alabama. Alabama? Yeah, Alabama, and specifically Huntsville. It is an amazing place to live, and it has been for a while. In fact, last year it was our number 1, and for good reason. If our number 3, Raleigh and Durham, seemed like a great place to move and have a lot of upward mobility, Huntsville takes it a step further. You get all of those benefits with an even cheaper price tag. The median price of a home in the area is just over $300,000. The jobs are plentiful and the pay is better than a lot of the country, with an average annual income of just over $61,000. A lot of them in the tech and aerospace industries. I mean, Huntsville is also known as Rocket City and is home to NASA's Marshall Space Flight Center and the U.S. Space and Rocket Center Museum, and is also home to Cummings Research Park, the 2nd largest research center in the country. While outer space is front and center in Huntsville, you still have all the natural wonders of this planet to enjoy here, including the Tennessee River and places like Montesano State Park with tons of hiking, biking, and camping just waiting for you. While space is number 1 here, it does not take a rocket scientist to figure out why Huntsville is our number 2. Number 1, Green Bay, Wisconsin. When I think of Green Bay, I think of the Packers and Laverne and Shirley, although I think that was probably Milwaukee. But Green Bay tops our list for a couple of reasons, and the first one is the affordability of the city. I mean, the median home price is about 40% lower than the national average. And the cost of everything just seems to be less here, with residents spending a paltry 19.9% of their income on housing costs. Costs aside, Green Bay offers that perfect mix of small town charm with big city amenities. I mean, they do have 2 Targets and 3 Walmarts, but as you might suspect, there isn't a Whole Foods in sight. But if you're looking for beer and fried cheese curds, it's not too difficult to find, especially on a game day. And of course, with the bays, rivers, and wide open fields just outside the city, there's lots to take in as far as natural beauty. And you can always have fun during the long winters, ice fishing and snowmobiling. All in all, a pretty darn good number 1, depending on what you're looking for. And a list with what I think is a place for just about anyone. Now that you've seen the best cities to live in, you should check out this video that I'm putting up with the best states to live in. And be sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss a video uncovering all of the amazing things about living in our big, beautiful country. Thanks for watching, and remember, we're all in this together. The Relocation King, out.